sweet silver bells all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is the song with joyful ring, all caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising their sound. Oh, hill and dale, telling the tale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. Merry, merry, merry Christmas. All listened, all without end, their joyful tone to every home. Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, that is thy song with joyful ring, how caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound. Oh, here's their telling the tale.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Vlogmas, episode 8. Today is December 20th, and it is evening here, so it's dark out. But I really wanted to update you. I actually started coughing again, and I really wanted a cup of tea. Today has been so bonkers busy. Not really with a lot of stuff, but like I clipped Kazi today, so he looks real nice and not shaggy anymore. So I really wanted a cup of tea, and I just thought, you know what? Normally I never film updates at night because the lighting is just... But here I am. Okay, so I have our tea here. It's still steeping, but I did finish a book, and I really, really want to talk about it. So the book that I just finished, I was reading it, I just mentioned it briefly in the last vlog, is The Naked Fisherman by Jewel E. Ann. Okay, so first things first is my star rating is a 3 for this book. I have some pretty complicated feelings about it once again. Because I didn't hate this book, honestly. Also, I want to be clear that I did not know this is a duet. This is the first book. I thought this was a standalone. It's not. It definitely ends on a cliffhanger. There's no HEA or HFN in this. You have to read the second book to get that. So that is kind of annoying to me. And I know, like, if I had looked it up, I would have realized that it was a duet, but I didn't. And honestly, I really am starting to get to the point where I am so over duets, unless it's by a favorite author like Kennedy Ryan. I'm so over duets where there's not any resolution at all in the first book. Like, I just hate that so badly. Like, I feel like a great example of a duet that worked really well for me that had a resolution of some sort but left things very open and kept you wanting more is The Sinner's Duet by Sophie Lark. That's not what happened here at all. Like, honestly, I was listening to this book today and I had 5 minutes left and I just kept thinking, how are they going to wrap this up? What is going on? Like, there's no way I'm going to be satisfied with this ending. And then it literally leaves you right in the middle of something major that is happening. And I hate that so bad. So, okay, I'll tell you briefly. This is basically about our heroine, Reese. She is 18 years old. She grew up with her grandparents who were very conservative Christians. They sent her to a Christian high school where she grew up, and she has very sheltered beliefs on the world, relationships, love, sex, all that stuff. Like, she is extremely sheltered and her worldview is very small. And she ends up going to live with her mother, who has recently been let out of prison. Her mother was imprisoned for, I think, like 5 years, and that's when she went to go live with her grandparents. So she's going to try and build this relationship up with her mother now. And she ends up moving in with her basement apartment in Colorado. And her mother is living with her boss. Not living with her boss, like she's renting the basement apartment. They're not together. And he has the upstairs. So her mother's boss is 28 years old, so 10 years older than Reese. He's the hero of the book, and Reese is the heroine. And when Reese first meets him, like, he basically never wears clothes. His name is Fisher, and so he's, like, constantly wearing as little clothes as possible, like, no shirt all the time. And so she kind of coins the nickname, the Naked Fisherman, for him. That's where the title comes from. So it's pretty apparent right away that Reese and Fisher have extreme chemistry. Like, they're very attracted to one another. And they're put in a situation where Reese's mother leaves, and so Reese is living at the home of this hot guy who she's extremely lusty for, alone. So, interestingly enough, this book, on a heat level, on a physical intimacy level, worked for me extremely well. It was very hot. It was very steamy. It was really a lot of tension, a lot of forbiddenness. It was just, honestly, delicious in that way. And usually, if you have listened to my videos or if you've know my reviews, I don't like that at all. That are relationships that are just purely lust-driven. I just get tired of it. I feel like it's really very boring. And it just doesn't work for me. Very, very few books that are driven in that way work for me. I think one of the only other ones that has worked for me that is like that is, well, not one of the only ones, but one that sticks out to me is Desperate Measures by Katie Robert, the most famous one. Another one, well, no, I don't even want to mention that. I was going to say Ruthless Stranger, but that one isn't just lust-driven at all. That's how it begins, but it's a lot more than that. So I was really surprised at how invested in their physical relationship that I was, because it's purely physical, and there is no actual sex in the first book, but there's just a ton of foreplay, a ton of leading up to it, because she's lived such a sheltered life. She's very drawn and tempted to him, and he knows that, and he's also very attracted to her and very tempted, but there's this portion of both of them that is holding back. One, because he knows that she has different beliefs than he does, and that means something to her. That giving up of the virginity means something to her. It's something that she wants to reserve for her husband, and he doesn't have that same worldview at all, but out of respect for her desires, he is really trying to hold back on that. So there's a lot of really great tension in here, like really great. But their relationship never progresses past a physical stage. And honestly, the hero at times is pretty jerky to her. Like, he says some things that are intended to hurt her, that are cruel, that seem like really heartless, that have to do with how naive she is, that have to do with, you know, how he's just going to go out with some other woman, you know, and get his needs met. And it's just like, that was really off-putting to me, so that I never got behind him as a hero. I never really thought he was a great hero. I was just sort of like, I hope that you shape up, because you're kind of a dick, you know? But again, like, their physical relationship, and I think it has a lot to do with how forbidden it was and how much tension there was surrounding it. That's what kept me interested, because I love the tension. I love the buildup of the relationship. And once that relationship is, like, secured, then I feel like, and it's not replaced with another element that creates tension or that creates interest or intrigue, then I get bored, you know? So I'm going to use There Are No Saints again for that, and There Is No Devil. And that's another thing that Sophie does really well in there, is that the relationship itself is resolved. The tension in that relationship is gone. But there are other elements at play that create so much tension and intrigue and interest that I'm not bored at all, you know? So this, as a romance, as a love story, didn't work for me, because I did not believe they were in love one bit. Not at all. And I don't know that it's... I think towards the end of this book, the author is sort of leading you to this answer that they actually really do love one another, and I just didn't buy it. I just didn't buy it. But I was still invested in their relationship. Like, the chemistry between them, the physical tension was fantastic, and I really, really loved it. So did I buy the second one to listen to it? Yeah, I did. I don't know what's happened to me, but it's interesting to me how authors can take things that don't work for you and they can make it work for you, but also it doesn't work for you, but also you can't stop reading it, and like, it's just interesting to me, you know? But yeah, I think that the tension in this book was excellently done. Like, wow. So it's a 3-star because I didn't love the hero. I didn't believe their romance, and I really didn't like the hero. And I felt like they were just he was just so cruel to her about how naive she was and how sheltered she was. And I'm just like, it definitely felt. So another thing about this book that I think is interesting is it does deal a lot with those Christian beliefs of like that have to do with like morality and virtue and virginity and sex, you know, like that's a big part of this story because the heroine, that's what she believes, that's what she grew up believing. But then it also has different worldviews because of Fisher, and his life experience and his beliefs are so different, but it definitely feels, and it's probably because we're reading it from Reese's point of view, you're only seeing her thoughts, you're seeing her conflicted about what she wants physically versus what she's been taught her whole life, and does she believe what she's been taught her whole life. So that was really interesting too, and I really love discussions like that. I love discussions or insights into characters having shifting beliefs and why that happens. I think that's really interesting. So that was also really good too. There is some, I would say there's some homophobic issues in this book. There is a little bit of mention of queer people that seems homophobic, but at the same, from what Reese has been taught and what she believes, but at the same time, then you have Fisher sort of challenging her thoughts and her beliefs and confronting those. And, you know, like, and he brings up something, I'm paraphrasing here, where he's like, so you have this certain set of beliefs. This is how you want to live your life. You don't want to have sex until you're married, all that other stuff. So why can't you allow other people to have this not the same type of beliefs, have different beliefs and just not let it affect you, which I thought was very well done. So I do think that there are a little bit of homophobic feelings in here, but I think and I suspect that we will see those change drastically in book 2. So I think it's mostly, I'm predicting it's set up here to show you Reese having a big change of heart in the next book. But at the same time, those themes are definitely here as Reese is sort of talking about how she sees queer individuals, and so that just felt a little icky to me, you know. I don't love that. I don't love reading about that at all. I just don't really like that. So it was a very interesting read, and it definitely was a book that I had a hard time putting down. Like, I was literally just eating up the tension. It was so great, honestly. The forbidden nature of it, the sort of taboo nature, it was very well done. But I wasn't convinced about their love, and I didn't love the hero, and I didn't really love how it ended on a cliffhanger, and I didn't love the I don't want to say very small, the pockets of discussion that were homophobic, that I felt were. But again, I'm saying that as a straight individual, so I don't have that world experience. But to me, that's what it read like, a little bit homophobic. But I also feel like she's putting that in that character's perspective, because in book 2, I suspect she's going to have a big change in her worldview, and I'm really excited about that. So that's actually another reason why I bought the second one, is because I want to see that change. And if that change doesn't happen, and those homophobic thoughts and ideas are expressed and left in there, then I will probably rate it really low. Anyway, there you go. That's what I read. I had a lot to say about that book. Do I recommend it? I don't know. Like, I think I do. I think I do if you really want if you really want some great forbidden, sort of, not heavy taboo, sort of taboo, extreme tension in a physical relationship, I would recommend it for sure. But I wouldn't recommend it as the type of romance that I typically enjoy. This is definitely an outlier for me. It's unique in that way. So, I hope that this lighting isn't bothering you, but I just had to talk to you and I wanted my tea. So it is 7 o'clock. We're going to have this tea. So the David's tea for today is apple cider, which I'm very excited about. It smells delicious. I can smell it from here. But once again, David's tea sometimes delivers on the scents and not the taste. Let's see. That's actually delicious. That's so good. This is the best David's tea that I've had so far. And I know it's not tea. It's herbal tea. It's herbal tea, apple cider. I don't know what the heck that is. There's no tea in it. It's apple pieces and stuff. But it's good. Honestly, that's freaking delicious. This gets a 10 out of 10. This is the one David's tea that I have tried that I would literally buy. I would buy that. That was delicious. That was seriously so good. I wonder if that's a seasonal flavor, because that was fabulous. Love that. 10 out of 10. Okay, so the Adagio tea is decaf hazelnut cinnamon cream. This one smells so good. So this has hazelnut flavor, which is my favorite coffee flavoring. Orange, cinnamon, natural cream flavor. Oh man, I'm excited about this. Let's try it. That's so good. That's so good. You can taste just a little bit of the orange, like at the back of your tongue. It is hazelnut flavored. It's not overwhelmingly that way. It's just delicious. I really like that one. That one's very good. I kind of wish I had bought that one too. So both of these are 10 out of 10. Honestly, this apple cider, David's apple cider herbal tea, is fantastic. This is literally the best flavor I've ever had from them. It's like just the right blend of tart and sweet. It's so good. It's delicious. So, all right, once again, we have a really long clip. I'll try to keep tomorrow's shorter, but who knows if it will or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks so much for watching. See y'all in a bit.
The night up over Mars, you trimmed a tree, I put up a star. I wear a sweater, it's down to my knees, and you will kiss the freckles on both of my cheeks, and we will sing our own Christmas song. Snow in the sky, you sing so softly, yeah, only we hear about the love you promised for all of our years, and we will sing our own Christmas song.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back. This is going to be a shorter vlog because it just is, okay? I don't know. I kind of want to get these vlogs out as soon as possible before Christmas because we only have 4 more sleeps until Christmas. So let's do the tea tasting and then I'll update you on the little that I've read since I last talked to you. I just talked to you last night, so it's not much. It's mostly just the tea tasting, but I knew I wouldn't make a ton of progress on the book I was reading before I talked to you, so here we go. So the David's tea is Magic Potion. It smells good, but it is like green or blue. I don't know. Again, once again, this would have been a good opportunity to use my glass cup. Oh well, let's taste it. It's weird. I don't know that it even has a taste. It's fine. It's just, it has a taste. The taste, what the heck is up with my hair right here? I can't reach it. The taste is sweet. Literally has no flavor other than sweet. I mean, a little, maybe, like, it's not bad. I've definitely had worse. It's giving me cotton candy vibes, though. So, okay, so the Adagio is gingerbread, which I am very excited about. I love the little packages with the reindeers on them. It's very cute. This smells really good. That's really good. It does have a really subtle ginger flavor. It's delicious, honestly. 8 out of 10. That's very good. Could be a little gingery, but it's still delightful. Love it. A million times better than that Magic Potion Sugar Water. So the book that I'm reading right now is... Okay, so last night I finished The Naked Fisherman, and I was kind of upset, as you listened to. I was a little upset with how it ended. Like, I don't know. I was upset. Because cliffhanger, and I was upset with some things in the book. We already talked about it. But I did go ahead and get the second one. These are both on Kindle Unlimited. But I didn't want to start it right then. I don't know why. I was having a moment of rebellion where I didn't really... So I picked up The Schoolmistress by Tess Thompson, which is an American historical romance. It's set in like 1910, so it's quite a bit earlier than like a Regency or Victorian, or even like most American historicals. That's even earlier, later, you know, Gilded Age is before 1910. So I started that, and I'm really liking it. But then I kept thinking about these stupid characters, not stupid, kind of stupid. I kept thinking about the characters from The Naked Fisherman, and I was like, I need to know how this gets resolved. I just really need to know. And so I'm reading that. I'm only on chapter 6. It's my audiobook for today, so I'll be listening to that all day, so I will definitely have a review for you in my next vlog, and probably... I wonder, I'm really curious to know if the second book changes my opinion of the first book. It's going to be interesting, because I honestly haven't even rated the first book on Goodreads yet, because I'm like, it really depends on how the second book delivers. I will say, though, props to the author for keeping me engaged and wanting to know what happened to these characters, despite the fact that they were unlikable at times. I still am invested in their romance. I want these dumb idiots to get together. I do want them to get together. Anyway, that's the reading update. Also still currently reading The Bully by Sophie Lark. Haven't made much more progress on that. Haven't had a ton of time to physically read. I do hope to read more of that this week and get it finished. But, you know, life is very busy. When you have a family and you're a small business owner, life is very busy for everyone, but those are my reasons for being busy right now. So, alright, I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to get it edited and get it up today. That's my goal, is to get it up today. So this is going to be a later upload. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It all depends on how fast the uploading process is. But hopefully it will be out today. If not, it will be out tomorrow. Happy Vlogmas. Thank you for watching this episode. I'll see y'all in my next video.